I hit 100% of my bets in the month of June. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, there's no way that's possible. How can somebody go an entire month without losing one bet? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you guys the exact proof so you actually know that it's real, on top of the strategies that I used to actually make this happen. So the first thing that I want to share with you guys is the exact bets that I used to make this happen. I'm going to go through the list right now and explain to you, these are the ones that you should be focusing on pretty much going through summer. First one is going to be in the MLB. It's the MLB pitcher prop for under 3.5 earned runs. This means that the pitcher cannot go over 4 earned runs. Okay, if they get 4 earned runs, then they end up losing that bet. Where you could find this at primarily is at DraftKings. Next was the over/under totals on the WNBA. Okay, this is total as in the total score. Okay, not team totals, just the total score to go over/under in the WNBA. This is available anywhere. Okay, you can find that stuff anywhere. But what we did here is we made the alternate total line. Okay, we adjusted the lines for these bets. Now I'm going to go through and I'm going to screen share and I'm going to show you guys all these bets that I placed and show you exactly how they all won pretty much and what I did to manipulate some of these numbers for some of these bets. All right, the next one was in the UFC, and this was to not go the distance. Okay, that's what that bet was, meaning that there has to be a finish in that certain fight. That's where we primarily focused on for the UFC. And then the final one was soccer. Whether it been the World Cup or regular soccer, the over 1.5 goals, which is an alternate line as well. Okay, this is similar to the WNBA total stuff. Okay, alternate line. Now I'm also going to show you in this video how to use the Linemaker AI and what prompts I used to prompt all these plays, because I literally got all these plays within seconds using the Linemaker AI. And I'm going to show you exactly how you could do the exact same. Now overall, my average odds were minus 364, okay? Which means for me to break even, I had to hit at least 78%, whereas I hit 100%. So obviously I gave myself a 22% edge over the course of the month of June. Now let's go ahead and get to the best part, where is the proof that this all actually happened. So the first thing I want to show you guys is the proof, okay? These are all timestamped. These right here, they're all timestamped, all right? As you can see, June 1st, June 2nd, all that good stuff, all right? So let's go ahead and let's roll from the 1st of June going up, all right? As you can see, there's a couple other type of bets in here, but the primary ones are the ones I just shared with you, okay? Here's the under-earned runs. Have some hockey stuff, but it was pretty much stuff that you're not going to use for this summer, so there's no reason to really go over that, all right? And then a couple different spread lines with hockey and with the NBA, but mostly alternate totals or alternate spreads. Here goes the World Cup. When the World Cup started, the over 1.5 goals. We were rolling on that one for a good minute there. And then the UFC, to not go the distance bets, more World Cup 1.5 over goals. We really went on a roll there with that, as you can see. When the World Cup started in the group stages, if you watched my other YouTube video for the group stage over 1.5 goals prop, like I was rolling pretty good here, as we got 1 there, 2, 3, then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those all won, every single one. And then here's WNBA total, some total work in the WNBA. The under 3.5 earned runs, like I mentioned, same thing. You know, as we're rolling up to not go the distance, over under on the WNBA games. And then the last one was the Phillies under Christopher Sanchez under 3.5 alternate run. I don't even think he gave up a run in that game, which is what's pretty crazy. All right, so those are all timestamped just to show the proof of that actually happening. Because, like I said, I don't know if this has ever been done before in sports betting, where somebody's won a whole entire month and have never recorded a loss in that entire month. But what's crazy is I'm actually not the only one that did that this month. I'm gonna pop up screenshots here of somebody I work one-on-one with, okay? His name is Rob, and I've been working one-on-one with him for about 1.5 years, and he literally replicated the exact same thing here as he went undefeated in the month of June. So what's crazy to me is, well, I thought, you know, oh, maybe I'm the only one that's ever really done something like that. Well, it turns out the man that I coached for the last 1.5 years did the exact same thing. So I want to give a quick shout out to him in this video, because he puts in the work day in and day out, and the results speak for themselves. So good job, Rob. I just wanted to give you a quick shout out in this video. Now let's go ahead and get into what is the data behind all those plays. How much money do we make? What's the ROI percentage? All that good stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and look exactly at my tracker and look at these insane numbers that are on here. Okay, so 26-0. Okay, I averaged about 1 bet per day. Some days I took a break. Okay, some days there was just nothing, so I didn't do anything. But 26-0, 100% win rate. ROI 27.2%. Units gained plus 7.1 units. Like I said, the average odds minus 364. Those odds right there, most people would never touch, right? Most people are like, oh, it's not worth it. If I lose 2 bets, it's going to take forever to get my money back. That's the number one thing I always hear. What happens when you go on streaks like this, though? Look what happens. Even if I lost 2 or 3 bets, I lost 3 bets in a row, I'd still have over $30,000 in profit because I cleared $63,000. Just think about that. $63,000 from sports betting. Some people make that an entire year. They have to work to make that what you can make in sports betting in 1 month, okay? With the correct bankroll size, of course. All right, this isn't with $1,000. We didn't take $1,000 and turn it into $63,000. That's not how it works. All right, but solid, like I said, I've never had a month like this. In the history of sports betting, I've never had a month where I went undefeated and did not lose 1 play. So I showed you guys the timestamped plays that were put in my private group with, the guys that I work one-on-one with. And it's just literally blows my mind that, that even happened because, like I said, I've never did that before. But overall, it shows and it proves that the method of finding plays that have high probability with an edge, that is where you can actually consistently win. Okay, you have to find those spots. When you find those spots, that's where you become successful. That's where you translate into actually making money rather than donating. Now, we're going to use the Linemaker AI, and I'm going to show you the prompts that I used throughout this whole entire month, so that way you can see exactly what you could put into the Linemaker AI as well. So if we go over here to the list, let's just go and click on the prompt list here. All right, on this prompt list, let's go ahead and find something easy to throw in there. Okay, the soccer one might not really work as good right now because it's just World Cup going on. But once World Cup is over, this right here, I'm telling you right now, that prompt for soccer, whether it be like Premier League, La Liga, any of that, is money. Okay, money. Right now, soccer for the World Cup's in the knockout stages, so it's a little less. This isn't where you want to be at in the knockout stages for World Cup. So wouldn't advise using that in the World Cup when it's knockout stages, because the teams are better defensively and they tighten up. Okay, but let's go ahead and let's look at the earned runs for the pitchers. Okay, all you gotta do is take that copy and then we go back to Linemaker AI and you paste it. So let's go ahead and paste this in here. Now, as we go through, you can see it spits out pretty much the advised plays of what you should be looking at. Okay, now what you do is you do not just go and think, all right, I'm gonna take every single one of these and let it roll. That's not what you do. Okay, because the AI is there to give you the best information possible for you to make the best decision possible. Okay, so what we do is we have the advice here. What we do is we take this advice now and we actually go through and read this stuff. Okay, we actually read this stuff to see which one of these actually makes the best sense, correlating with the opposing team's batting average, the opposing team's home run rate, the ballpark that it's in, all that good stuff as well, which gives you this information literally inside the write-up. But you should read these write-ups so you understand exactly what we're looking at here, okay, and what the AI is pumping out. But it's literally that simple. Like, instead of manually working where like I have to jump on the whiteboard and show you guys exactly how to step-by-step come up with like the earned runs, all we had to do was copy and paste this and throw it in here. That's literally all we had to do. Okay, it was that simple. Now let's get to some of the other prompts as well so I can show you how to use those. So same thing, we're gonna go back to the prompt list here. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look now at the WNBA. Okay, all I did was put in is give me a breakdown of the best bets in WNBA today that have the highest probability of going under their alternate total. Okay, so it gives you the best probabilities here with the under alternate total. Okay, because that's what we're looking at. Now, obviously, the recommendations that are like minus 1,000 or whatnot, we're obviously not going to be wrong with stuff like that, right? But we do want to venture down towards these type of numbers, okay, where we get a suggested total here that's, we could venture to minus 370, minus 245 in that range. That's more or less where we want. The AI just gives you the safest bet that you could possibly do, which is obviously up here, okay, where it's the most safe. But this is the recommendations. Look, it gives you a whole entire breakdown of exactly what you should be looking at here. Seattle at Phoenix is obviously the matchup they want us to look at. That's where the AI wants you to look. So in that matchup, you get the probability tier here from moderate all the way up to nearly like guaranteed type money. Okay, so it's that simple for WNBA as well. This is the same prompt that I used in the month of June to give me the winners that I used for the totals, whether it be for the over, like I said, or the under. The only thing you have to do is switch right here where it says under their alternate total to over their alternate total to either look at the over or the under. It's literally that simple. So with the Linemaker AI, just make sure when you're putting in information that you're putting it in to the T of what exactly it is that you want it to do. If you want it to give you the alternate lines, make sure you're telling it to give you the alternate lines as well. If you want it to give you a parlay with alternate lines, make sure you're telling it that. give me a 2-team parlay using alternate lines or alternate player props to put together. It won't just know exactly what you want it to do unless you tell it exactly what to do. Using the Linemaker AI absolutely saves you so much time throughout the day where you do not have to manually do all the work. If you guys want a free trial to start using the Linemaker AI so that way you can see exactly the power that's behind it, make sure you guys click the link in the description. Now let's get into exactly the key concepts that I used to literally hit 100% in the month of June. I'm gonna go step by step, show you guys exactly the key elements to creating that insane month. Let's go ahead and get to the first thing. Okay, the first thing was the percentage of my bankroll that I was using. Okay, I never went above 5%. Okay, that was my hard cutoff point for unit size. Never went above 5% for my unit size. That is a must, because if you venture outside that, one loss, if I did 10 or 20% on one play, could have literally killed my whole entire month. So I never went above 5% on one play. Let's get to number 2, was consistent. Okay, I was consistent throughout the entire month, and like I said, I stuck to one play per day, where some days I had 0 plays. Okay, if it didn't fit the criteria and nothing popped out through the Linemaker AI, guess what? I didn't play it, because that's another key aspect to this, which is number 3, which is discipline. Discipline is very important, because if you don't have the discipline to be able to accomplish number 1 and number 2, guess what's going to happen? You're going to lose regardless. It doesn't matter if you went undefeated, because you go undefeated and you had one day where you weren't disciplined, it could destroy the entire month. So the keys to success throughout that insane month, that, like I said, pretty much is the best month I've ever had in sports betting, percentage-wise, because you can't get better than 100%. I had 3 key concepts to that, which was never went above 5% of my unit size. I stayed consistent. I played one play per day. Some days I played none if nothing fit through the criteria. And I stayed disciplined throughout that whole entire process, and never once thought, because I'm on a roll winning, I'm going to bet more plays, or I'm just going to bet more money because it doesn't seem like I can lose. I never did that. I just stayed consistent and I stayed disciplined. That's the key aspect. When you put all of those together with the Linemaker AI, with your own knowledge of knowing exactly what it is you're looking at within the Linemaker AI, these are the results that you get. You get an undefeated month that goes down in the history as one of the best months a sports bettor could ever have. Now, if you want to start a trial with the Linemaker AI so that way you can make your life easier, make sure you guys click the link in the description so you can start winning just like all these guys who have won in the month of June. Okay, it's that simple. Click the link, start winning. That's all you got to do. I'm Frank with Linemaker Sports. I'll see you guys in the next video. Till then, I'm out.